No, we're not. Or we'll just end the video here. All right, see you guys.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Listography. Jason, Joe, and Krams are here. Songs of the Year series rolling on. We're into the second half of the 60s, 1966. A great year for pop singles, one of my favorite years ever as far as pop singles and probably the Hot 100 goes. And I won't be listing hardly any of those songs that I like because the Beatles, Dylan, and the Beach Boys are at it again, just totally taking over. So that's where I stand. How do you guys feel about the year?
And the Rolling Stones, man, come on. Jeez, you are so wrong not including them in that trio. Yeah, it's a great year, especially for albums. I don't have any Beatles songs making mine. I got Eleanor Rigby and She Said She's Just Missing. A lot of great tracks missing, though, so I agree. It's pretty loaded year.
Fantastic year. One of the best ever for singles. Definitely. I'm spreading out the love a lot more than you, Jason, but I mean, I could definitely, I mean, you could probably put just Pet Sounds and it would almost fit in the all 10 slots. There'd be a little fudging you'd have to do with the numbers. But I mean, there's just so many good songs. The Beatles, Beach Boys, the Stones, tons of Motown. It's loaded, man. Simon and Garfunkel, if you're into that kind of thing, they're big this year too. It's crazy.
All right, so you want to kick it off?
Also, welcome back, Joe. People thought you died.
Woo. Scared some people on the channel, but no, I'm alive. It's just a little power outage. I can go first. Yes, I will take the top Billboard 100 here. We'll start with a little bit of Baroque pop that I love so much. I got Walk Away Renee from the Left Bank. Really cool use of a symphony, which was, I forget, one of the writers of the song's dad was like a symphony conductor. So they just threw a symphony in there and it works really well. It's super overwrought, strings and everything, but I think it's great. Tough to get more like overpowering a mix than Walk Away Renee, but I'm gonna do with my number 4. I got River Deep, Mountain High. Phil Spector's Wall of Sound is just almost overwhelming. It's just so much going on. And when this song only made it to the number 88, and when it did, it kind of broke Phil Spector and he went crazy. So tough beat on that one because it's a great song. Ike and Tina Turner, man. Quality classic stuff. Number 3, I'm gonna go with the classic California Dreaming from Mamas and the Papas. Love the vocal mix between the male and the females. Vocals are great. And it's just a cool song, a little melancholy. Number 2, I'm gonna go with the Four Tops. Reach Out, I'll Be There. Great singing. I love how the music drops out right before the chorus and just that boom, 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 little bass lick. And then boom, it comes back in. Really great. Holland Dozier Holland track. If you counted up all of the songs they wrote, like every year, just combined all the stuff they wrote for all these bands, they might be my favorite songwriting group. You know, Lennon, McCartney, Brian Wilson, all those. Holland Dozier Holland, Smokey Robinson would be up there, but Holland Dozier Holland might be at the top. And number 1 is going to be one of 2 Beach Boys tracks. I'm gonna go with Wouldn't It Be Nice? Another kind of big wall of sound production. There's 16 different instruments on this track. Amazing group vocals, of course, we all know. And that juxtaposition between sort of the melancholy lyrics and the joyful music. Just perfect, love it. Really strong candidate for number 1 if there's only one track that just wasn't a little bit better. And I don't remember, I can't tell what it is because we haven't said it on this channel. It's a big surprise. Wouldn't it be nice? A definite winner in most other years for me.
Correct. If this is your first time tuning into the channel, this is not going to be a surprise at the end of the video. This year contains all 3 of our favorite song ever. I got a couple in common with you. One that you definitely weren't going to pick, though, making my Billboard, and was surprised to hear that it did make the top 100 at some point. I've got I Want You by Bob Dylan from Blonde on Blonde. Just a really infectious melody to it, just really pretty, flowery, kind of strolling along, and has a really like sunny kind of feel to it. Got all those great feeling good and warm kind of Dylan vocals, and harmonica's really nice too. I also have a much darker song, but so cool, Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones. Absolutely great, really dark, ominous vibes to it. A really cool just atmosphere to it. I think it's awesome, very shadowy. I got a couple by Beach Boys. I've got Sloop John B. I don't know how much I want to elaborate on the Beach Boys. You should check out the Beach Boys videos, songs and albums. But yeah, this song is just fantastic. The arrangements are great. I also have Wouldn't It Be Nice, the opener from Pet Sounds. Harmonies are just too good to ignore. Just the beautiful kind of sparse, sunny vibes on it. It's just fantastic. And I've also got California Dreamin' by Mamas and the Papas. A song that really you just identify with the late 60s, the flower power movement, that California sound. It's got kind of like a mystical vibe, and the backing vocals just sound so great. One of the better just vocal performances by everyone here. When he says, I got down on my knees, so powerful, like right off the bat. Can't ignore it. It's great. Yeah. Those are 5 from the Billboard.
We haven't given too many honorable mentions on this series so far, but I'm going to give a few this year because there's so little variety in the actual artists that I chose. But other songs that I love that aren't quite making my list are The Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore by the Walker Brothers, Bus Stop by the Hollies, 96 Tears by Question Mark and the Mysterians, Last Train to Clarksville by the Monkees. But we'll get to the official picks now. We'll start with the only non-Beatles, Beach Boys, or Dylan selection of the year for me. I've got With a Girl Like You by the Trogs, which I think is a perfect pop song, great vocal delivery, and I think it's one of the catchiest melodies ever written. All I have to do is even just like think of the song and it'll be stuck in my head for like a week, but I love it. My next pick is going to be Wouldn't It Be Nice by the Beach Boys. Sweet, innocent, brilliantly arranged, great singing on it, just a masterpiece. Then we're gonna get to some Beatles. I got Rain, just amazing rhythm section on it. The drums and bass are so incredible. I don't think anyone was close to McCartney and Ringo at this point as far as like a rock rhythm section. Paperback Writer, gonna have that on my list as well. More amazing bass from Paul on this one. All the backing vocals on it are great. And that's it. My winner for the year is from the Hot 100. So just gonna do 4 right now.
Yeah, it's tough for these years. I'll do 2 honorable mentions just because I think they're perfect songs, but I couldn't include them because I have too many other perfect songs. Painted Black by the Stones and You Keep Me Hanging On by the Supremes. Both 10s in my book. But they're just missing out. For my personal rank, my number 5, and most of these made the Hot 100 as well. I'm gonna go with Give Me Some Lovin' by the Spencer Davis Group. I love the intro, the drums and that huge organ. I love the organ in like Rolling Stone, but I think this is my favorite just organ sound ever captured in a song. Just love it. And Stevie Winwood sounds pretty grizzled for a 16, 17-year-old, however old he was. Number 4, and I was looking through these songs. This might be my favorite Rolling Stones year ever. I got 19th Nervous Breakdown, maybe my favorite or second favorite Stones song ever. I just love it. This is a great drive to it. Love the way that Mick Jagger sings on it. Just a killer track. Number 3, my only Beatles appearance, and I could put a bunch of Beatles songs on here, but you can go with a very low key, very simple For No One. It was maybe 5th on my top 10 Beatles songs. I just think it's so just beautifully understated. Really love McCartney's lyrics on it. Just really, really great song. Number 2, This is a top 5 all-time song for me, probably. Sucks that it made the runner-up, but I got Hey Joe by Jimi Hendrix. The guitar work, the use of the broken chords, and all that he's doing playing rhythm and lead is just unbelievable. Love the drum and the bass. I think Jimmy's an underrated singer, and I think he does a great job on this. And I love the R&B kind of backing vocals. Had a nice dramatic touch. Unbelievable song. It's a folk song, and people think it's a cover because some jagoff went and like got the version copyrighted, but it's a folk song. Everybody covered it. But this is the definitive version, and it's just a remarkable debut single from Jimmy. And number 1, you'll have to wait for, even though you already know what it is.
Didn't Hey Joe come out in 67? That's when Are You Experienced came out.
It wasn't actually on the UK version of Are You Experienced? It's only on the US version. This was his first single. Came out before, and they collected it. That's the problem with Are You Experienced for me. When we did the albums of the year, I was going off the UK version, which isn't as good. Like, it doesn't have Purple Haze and something else on it. The US version of Are You Experienced would have won the year for me, but it's a weird. I hate how they did this back in the 60s. There's so many great tracks that are left off albums.
All right. Very good. I'll throw in some honorable mentions other than the Beatles ones that I already mentioned. Nancy Sinatra with These Boots Are Made for Walking. I think that's an amazing track. And Substitute by The Who, which Joe talked about in 65 because of the inspiration that Townsend got from Smokey Robinson. So very cool. I'm really afraid that The Who are going to be an artist that just gets lost throughout all these years for me. Agree, this is a great year for the Rolling Stones because of Aftermath, UK or US version, whatever. And if you guys remember last year when we did Albums of the Year 66, for a second I thought that Pet Sounds might not win for me, and I thought that Aftermath would pull it off, but no, I was kidding myself. But there are just too many great songs from Aftermath, including Under My Thumb by Rolling Stones. Really love it. I'm not sure if it's xylophone or what it is, but just that little accent of the song is great. It's kind of very soulful and a little bit more melancholy than you would think. Then one of my top 10 favorite songs ever would be a runaway winner here if, you know, what we'll talk about later didn't exist. Lady Jane, absolutely great. It's got like this like medieval kind of quality to it. I absolutely love it. I think it's very majestic and chivalrous, and the on bended knee, my love, is a great line. Going with Simon and Garfunkel, my favorite song of theirs, and probably the shortest track that will be nominated for any Song of the Year award for me is April Comes She Will. Just a really lovely little acoustic guitar part, so delicate, and the very soft touching vocals are just awesome. And finally, from Pet Sounds, I've got That's Not Me, one of my favorite lyrical songs of them. It sounds great. It's kind of really innocent and boyish about him being afraid in the world and not wanting to be what people expect of him, because all he wants to do and all that matters to him is romance and what he can prove to be a man in a relationship and for his one girl. I think it's great. And we will hold on to the other one as the winner.
My wildcard picks. I've got Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys, Brian Wilson's Pocket Symphony. Really cool, experimental, but like the Beatles, they're both bands are doing so much experimenting, but they keep all the experimentation within the realm of pop songs. Like, these songs are still easily approachable. They're still really catchy and still reaching the Hot 100 charts, top 40. Really great. Then I got my lone Bob Dylan track of the year, Stuck Inside of Mobile with the Memphis Blues Again. Great song. They did 20 takes of it. The 20th one is the one that made the record. I love the guitar on it. The organ on it's great. I love the feel of the drumming. Dylan's lyrics here are getting more kind of surreal and crazy, but still brilliant. I think it's great. And then the rest of my tracks are Beatles tunes. I've got Andrew Bird Can Sing. I love the guitar riff on it. Great harmony singing. The drums, the tambourine, and the hand claps all make up a great rhythm track. And more great bass playing from Paul McCartney. Then I've got She Said, She Said. More incredible drumming. This is one of the only Beatles tracks that Paul McCartney is not on. George Harrison plays bass on it, but I love the song. I think it's great. My top wildcard pick of the year is Tomorrow Never Knows. I think it's one of the best drum parts of all time. I think the Beatles in 66, Ringo and Paul, I don't know if any rhythm section in rock had a better year than them. Just everything they did was so great. You also get the loops and the backwards guitar on this. They were just on a whole other level, another planet. No one else was doing anything like this track. It's amazing still today.
Okay, so we're doing worst tracks now, huh? I'm gonna pick the obvious one for this year. I got Sergeant Barry Sadler with the Ballad of the Green Berets. It's not even a real song. It's just kind of lame. And it was number one for a long time. I opened up like a playlist of 1966 Billboard Hot 100 of the whole year. And staring at me was Ballad of the Green Berets. I was like, of all the songs in 1966 to be the number one song, this is it. Yeah, I don't know. There's not much to say about it. Just not a good song.
Yeah, figured one of you two would pick that. Figured one of you would pick Born a Woman. Incredibly backwards kind of thinking in those lyrics. So I avoided those two just to get some more interesting stuff and to get a repeat winner going with Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs with Little Red Riding Hood. It's 66. There's all this cool stuff going on with the Beach Boys, the Stones, the Who, the Kinks, Motown. Well, this song is so old. It belongs in like a really old, like just Davy Crockett commercial. I don't know. It's pathetic. It could almost be cool if like they just upped the ante, like they're playing off the old fairy tale or whatever it is, and but they don't go far enough. There's no danger in the voice in the vocal performance. There's nothing, and then the bah at the end is just really dumb. I think I'm picking this because it had the potential of doing something cool. Like if you gave the Rolling Stones like this song and being like, all right, write a song from the point of view of the wolf luring in like Little Red Riding Hood, they would have just knocked it out of the park. But this is just so tame, so lame. What a shame. And two-time winner, Sam the Sham. Wooly Bully was my other one. Couldn't take that one either.
All right. Well, I have to double up with Joe and go with the same one. So as I go through all the charts, I write down any song that jumps out that seems particularly awful to me. And I had 9 songs written down for 1966. And of those, the only one to reach the top 40 was the Ballad of the Green Berets. So I guess good job, people in 1966, not to let all these other terrible songs rise that high on the charts, where I feel like in the early 60s, these would have all been number one singles. So I guess that's a side effect of having so much other great music.
All right, now the moment you've all been waiting for. What could it be? 1966 winner. Before we get into that, I'd just like to congratulate myself for winning in 65. Kind of an upset in my life over Like a Rolling Stone. I think Kranzer probably played spoiler by picking another Bob Dylan. If you combine the 2 Bob Dylan tracks, he would have pulled ahead by just 2 votes. So tough one to win for me. That makes Jason with 3.5, me with 3, and you with 2.5. All right, let's just get it over with. God Only Knows is my favorite track of 1966. Beach Boys, Pet Sounds. We all went into it on the Beach Boys album video and then again on the Beach Boys songs video. We'll probably get into it again on our favorite songs of all time video that'll come out in the future. It's just a remarkable piece of songwriting, from the lyrics, the vocals, the way it kind of all swirls together at the end with them singing rounds. It's just a beautiful, perfect song. And I've talked about it so many times that I don't need to talk about it anymore. And I'm sure you guys will have other stuff to say. So yes, God only knows. No, we're not. Or we'll just end the video here. All right, see you guys.
My pick is God Only Knows by the Beach Boys, my favorite song of all time. So it was easy. Yeah, it's a very underratedly complex arrangement and chord progression. Very cool. Lyrics are incredibly touching, very melancholy filled. So pretty and sad at the same time. I don't think there's a song on earth that combines those two simple adjectives better than this. And yeah, click one of the other 1,000 instances of us talking about this song, because I don't want to hate it. I want it to be my favorite song forever. But if we keep having to talk about it every 2 to 3 weeks, I might start to dislike it, but probably not.
Samesies. It's my favorite song of all time. It's an obvious winner. Didn't even have to think about it. It's perfect. Yeah, go watch the Beach Boys videos.
It's also the only reason we're all friends, or even doing this channel. I would hate you guys if you hadn't picked that as your favorite song of all time.
You do hate us. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I keep it together because of our love of that song. So
I think we all might have the worst song of all time too. We were talking about. We might all share that, but that would be a different video. There's way too many options for that.
So I don't know about you guys. I'm looking forward to getting out of the 60s now because it's just going to be more Beatles for me every year. So I'm looking forward to getting some other artists involved and finding some cool, unexpected things, putting them on my list, but not much opportunity to do that coming up.
Next year, I think I have like 10 Beatles songs at like perfect 10s. Like it's madness. And that might be the best year for the Beatles, in my opinion, but it kind of does suck because I'm pushing all these great songs down and down, and it's just not right. Damn you, Beatles.
I don't know. I think next year is going to bring on a bigger contrast between the Billboard and the personal wild cards, just because I feel like 67 is when a lot more hard rock kind of starts to arrive, especially with Are You Experienced by Hendrix. But Jason doesn't like Hendrix very much.
And the Doors. So that's two bands Jason doesn't like that are going to reinvent the hard rock. Well, invent, I should say, the hard rock landscape. So that will be fun. It's nice to have like actual hard rock and roll. I mean, we had like a taste with the Rolling Stones, but like this is like another level, I think.
Late 60s psychedelic rock is not my thing. I lean more towards the pop, and then when the 70s come around, I like kind of the glam stuff in the early 70s. But yeah, the whole Woodstock, Haight-Ashbury, all that stuff, those bands aren't my scene. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we got some underrated Beach Boys albums too coming up in 67. I like Wild Honey a lot, so something could sneak in there. Tune in to find out. Oh, by the way, forgot, wasn't a serious contender for this year, but how cool is the song Secret Agent, man? Come on, so cool.
Did you see all the other like spin-off tracks, like I'm a Spy for the FBI? All right, let us know what your favorite songs of the year are down below, what you thought of our list as well. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet. Hit the bell for notifications. Check the description for all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you will find playlists down there and a link to our website where you can go vote. Although there's not much voting happening this week since we all have the same winner. Go there and go to our website anyways, check it out. And we will see you next week. What are we doing next week? We've got Alice in Chains coming up, and then 1967 on Friday. So we'll see you then.